In 2020, someone in the UK government signed off on spending £100 million on a tunnel. Not for cars, not for trains, but for 300 bats. All of them living near a stretch of the HS2 route. That's not a typo, it's basically how Britain builds things now. Whether it's a railway, a power station, or a road, the UK has become one of the slowest and most expensive places in the world to get anything built. And that's not just annoying if you're into trains, it's actually costing you money. So let's start with how bad this actually is. In 2025, only about 19 out of every 100 major planning applications hit their deadline. For example, take the Lower Thames Crossing, a new road tunnel under the Thames. The planning application alone ran to 360,000 pages and costed around £245 million, and construction still hasn't started. Zoom out even further, and the UK has been the lowest investor in the entire G7 for 24 of the last 30 years. If we simply match the average, an extra £1.9 trillion would have gone into the economy. That's not bad luck, that's a failed system. So why does this keep happening? A lot of it comes down to a law from 1947. Most of our planning system still runs on a case-by-case decision rather than a clear zoning like you get in Germany or the Netherlands, where investors know what they're allowed to build before they even apply. Whereas in the UK, everything gets argued out project by project, which means every single application becomes its own legal battle. And the councils meant to process these applications are stuck in a trap of their own. They're short by around £362 million a year, which means fewer staff, which means slower decisions, which means less fee income to actually fix the problem. So the problem feeds itself. And then you got the legal challenges, which is where the real delays and costs pile up. Take the Tilbury Energy Centre, a gas-powered station that's already been approved, fully consented, and still not built because of ongoing legal challenges, and at a time when the UK badly needs more energy capacity. Which brings us back to that bat tunnel. £100 million to protect an estimated 300 bats isn't really about bats. It's about a system where environmental rules get applied project by project with no one asking whether the cost is actually proportionate to the benefit. And it's not just HS2. The queue for connecting new energy projects to the grid now stands at around 700 gigawatts. That's more than double what the entire UK actually needs. And it means viable wind and solar projects are sitting stranded for years before they can even switch on. And here's why you should care, even if you've never thought about planning laws in your life. UK industrial electricity prices are 89% higher than the average across major European economies. UK steel makers alone have paid £845 million more for power than their French competitors since 2016. That's factories becoming less competitive, fewer jobs in the UK, and higher prices eventually landing on you. Now, there is a reform trying to fix some of this. The Planning and Infrastructure Act of 2025 does speed some things up, cutting red tape around grid connections and streamlining a few consolidation steps. But some of the biggest fixes got stripped out along the way, and the environmental laws causing the most expensive delays haven't actually changed. So it's a step, just not a full fix. And here's the most frustrating part. When the UK actually does build, it works. The Elizabeth line was expected to lose money. Instead, it's estimated to have added around £42 billion to the UK economy against a cost of £19 billion. We don't have a problem with investment paying off. We have a problem letting ourselves invest in the first place. So the bats got their tunnel. The question is, whether the rest of the country gets one too. Would you rather Britain moved faster and took more risk, or continue to stay this cautious? Let me know down below.